That's
Hey,
it.
hey, welcome back, Berzerkers. We are here on Tuesday, November the 1st. We're here with the Tesla News Roundup. You got the Tesla Barbarian here and Ash, the King of Men. How you doing there, Ash? You look good.
So this is a Tuesday thing we're going to start doing.
Mm-hmm.
The first two live streams we had were kind of a test for the equipment.
I had a good time.
Well, we'll still do those, but like Tuesday, I think we're actually going to start bringing Tesla news on Tuesdays.
Yeah, we are making a commitment. Every Tuesday at noon, we will go live, do some Tesla News Roundup, some Q&A, and feel free to continue to ask us anything. We're completely fine with that. Jump in, ask us anything in the live chat. It is good to see everybody. We're glad that you're here. I wanted to jump in with the news story that I saw that kind of blew me away. On Teslarati, we saw that there's some Cybertruck production updates. Did you catch that?
Yeah, well, I've been keeping up with it. I know that the parts from Italy have arrived in Texas. The GigaPress.
The 9,000-ton GigaPress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any more updates since that?
Well, so I didn't even know that they had arrived in Texas. I knew that they had been sent over, and as far as I know, the guys that are flying their drones over haven't seen the actual. But it's a giganto box. It's humongous.
It's a bunch of parts.
It's a humongous box that says IDRA on the side. And so I figured there won't be any question whether or not when it arrives, they won't be able to hide that as well. I mean, they couldn't even hide the Cybertruck bodies outside when they had them all wrapped up. But it's like, wow, that's shaped oddly like a Cybertruck.
Yeah, but you know how he is. He's a troll, man.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the same thing. I was like, I bet you anything that's cardboard.
I know back in the war, well, not in a Cold War, Russia had satellites that would read infrared. And they'd read the shadow patterns of the planes. They had to bring the planes in every so many hours because the satellites would fly over the United States. So they'd bring in these top secret planes from the hangars. And the infrared from the satellites would read the imprint on the concrete of the plane. So the U.S. started making these crazy plane out of cardboard and bring them in. So
really?
The heat signature on the concrete would be all these crazy wild designs.
Okay, well, don't tell Elon because...
Oh, he knows about it. He's a rocket scientist. He makes rockets.
He already throws us enough little head fakes and everything else. But so Teslarati today reported, and if you can throw that up so we can take a look at it.
Yes. Okay.
So Learning Fast says, what's up, guys? We are trying to organize an event this Saturday at Rockingham Drag Strip. We might have a Rivian, BMW i4, and some Teslas. Definitely come out and you can. That's the rocket surgeon if I've ever spoken to him. That's that's him. That's right for sure him. Jay Lemieux says, I wonder if they'll deliver the Cybertruck in the order that the orders were placed. Jay, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. Probably not. So they batch together orders based on geographic location. And so if you were behind the 8 ball, but your reservation happens to be in the same geographic location as a series of other earlier orders, then it's probably going to be like that. They do that in order for logistic simplicity and also so that they can reduce the cost of shipping them. And they ship most of the vehicles via rail. So today, Teslarati reported that Tesla is planning to begin Cybertruck mass production at the end of 2023, a new report states, and they're citing Reuters here. Tesla's in the final lap of Cybertruck development. CEO Elon Musk said during the company's Q3 earnings call in October, now the company's reportedly preparing to set potential dates for production goals, with an exclusive report from Reuters indicating mass manufacturing of the Cybertruck slated to begin at the end of next year. The end of next year being in like November, December timeframe, so 12 months from today. Now, the framing of that, Teslarati knows what the between the lines means. Teslarati is a good source for news for EVs, but Reuters, it appears, was trying to frame it as such that Elon said on the Q3 earnings call, yeah, we're going to start deliveries next summer, but then this report from people that are involved in Cybertruck production is stating that they're going to be in production at the end of next year. Now, if you read just one layer deeper, we know that April 7th was the date of Cyber Rodeo at Giga Austin. And Cyber Rodeo was the first time that Model Ys built in Giga Austin were delivered. And still, we're in November now, and the production ramp has not fully ramped up for Model Ys coming out of Austin, Texas. So if they're planning to have Cybertruck mass production fully ramped, because I think a little further on in that article, they refer to it as being the ramp of production being complete by the end of 2023. That means sometime in December, they're planning on having a full ramp all the way up to mass production, then that would seem to indicate that it might even be slightly earlier than we're thinking. Because if Model Y production began in April, and here we are in November, and they're still not fully ramped, then that would seem to indicate that you would have to start delivering Cybertrucks at or before April 7th of 23 in order to have a full mass production ramp, fully ramped by the end of 2023.
So to break it down, you're saying that he's done this before with the Model Ys and then came out prior. Is that what you're saying?
No, so when Model Y first started being delivered, they were being delivered from Fremont. They were not coming out of Giga Austin. That's a different animal. But you're right. Model Y came out early. I think he was sandbagging. He said, "Oh, we're going to have them out on this date," and then they came out months early into when they first started being delivered.
Okay.
What I'm talking about now is that the made in Texas Model Y with 4680 cells and single piece castings, they first delivered those at Cyber Rodeo in April of this year. And here we are in November of this year, 7 full months later, and the full production ramp is not completed.
Oh, okay.
So Elon said that they're going to begin with the Cybertruck next summer, sometime June, July of next summer. But this article is reporting that by the end of 23, Cybertruck production ramp will be completed, which means that 7 to 8 month timeline will be completed by the end of 23, which means that they'll have to begin producing them sometime in the April timeframe as opposed to the June, July timeframe. I think we might be, if we read between the lines, maybe one layer deep and throw a little bit of wishful thinking and hope on top of it, we could be seeing Cybertrucks get delivered to the first few customers, April or May timeframe. Maybe even a delivery event in the May-June timeframe.
You think that early?
I hope.
I hope. Yeah.
And I'm making the comparison to the Model Y that we've seen coming out of Austin. Let's see. The rocket surgeon says the Cybertruck has just been delayed too much. Rivian and Ford have a significant head start on Tesla in this case. I mean, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, but it's going to blow it away.
Well, so Rivian and Ford have a significant head start on Tesla as far as the actual production and delivery of the Rivian and production and delivery of the Ford F-150 Lightning. But what we do know is that Tesla has a decade-long head start on mass production of electric vehicles that these other guys don't have. And so whereas Rivian and Ford are delivering their electric pickup trucks, they're not making a profit on them. We know that. I mean, that's public record. They don't make a profit. Rivian loses money on their trucks. Ford loses money on the F-150 Lightning.
So Ford's is doing it just to bring people into Ford. It's kind of like, hey, we got electric vehicles too. Come on into Ford. Is that what you're?
I would contend that for Ford.
Yeah.
We've seen that with a few different legacy auto manufacturers where the EVs are almost their compliance cars to get ZEV credits, and they are and they're kind of a bait and switch. They get people into the dealership and then switch. But Rivian only makes electric vehicles.
So
and for Rivian, I would make the comparison to early Tesla because Tesla also used to lose money on every Model 3 they made. And so it took a couple of years before Tesla began making a lot of money on each one. So Rivian is it's just in its infancy right now. And I would compare the early Model 3 days to the current Rivian days where they're not making money on the Rivian R1T yet, but I believe that they will. They're just hammering out their manufacturing processes, getting things lined up, making things better in their manufacturing, simplifying things. They've already started simplifying their lineup by reducing some of the options that are available, which is something that Tesla also did.
Yeah. That's true.
Let's see. But so I think once from Jump Street, once the Cybertruck is starting to get delivered, they'll be making profit on every unit sold. So on the timeline, Ford and Rivian are well ahead of Tesla in delivering vehicles to customers. But I think in the financials that Tesla will immediately leap ahead on the profitability of the Cybertruck when it hits the ground. I think the Cybertruck will launch much earlier than that report. They must mean full mass production. That's kunchography. Kunchography? How would you say that? Kunchography.
Kunchography.
Either way, correct my pronunciation. But yeah, no, I agree with you. They're meaning full mass production by the end of 2023, which, based on the timeline, is what it's taking Model Y production to get up to full mass production in Austin. I think that that the first Cybertrucks will start getting produced somewhere in the May timeframe. Rivian and Ford have a vehicle out, but Tesla still have hundreds of thousands of Cybertruck orders. I don't think it will make a difference to them. They've got over 1 million Cybertruck orders. Now, how many of those Cybertruck orders actually translate into a customer taking delivery? We don't know. It was only $100 down, so many people in 2019 could have just thrown out $100 and said, "Yeah, I'll reserve one. We'll see what happens." So if 1/4 of those reservations translate into actual deliveries, then that's about 250,000 orders that they can expect, and that's 1 full year of fully ramped production, according to Elon's numbers that he's given out. Lou says, "Big fan of your broadcast. I'm on my second Tesla single motor upgraded to a 22 dual motor." Nicely done, Lou. 22 dual motor of which one? Are we talking a Model 3, a Model S? Let me know which one. The Rocket Surgeon says, "I don't think they will be delivered that early. This is an entirely new vehicle. Tesla employees will get the Cybertruck first to test." Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, they kind of gave away the farm on the earnings call when Elon said, "When do I get my beta test? When do I get my beta test mule?" And about 3 to 4 weeks. So somewhere in the 4, 5, 6 weeks, because like you said, IDRA sent over their GigaPress, but it still needs to be delivered and set up. Once they set that up and they're able to actually press out some of these, almost immediately I would expect to see them being tested around Austin, tested around Texas, and I would expect to see them all over North America where they test them into different climates, just like they did with the Model Y. But it'll all be like you said, it'll be the Tesla employees getting them first. Let's talk about the Cybertruck price. I think it will start at $70K, end up above $80K pretty quickly with options. Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a video on the channel where we hammered out the numbers. We actually did the math based on inflation, the price squeeze on supply changes, supply limitations, as well as the changes in price, the increases in price forced up by demand that we've seen on the Tesla website since 2019 in November when the Cybertruck launched. I agree with your numbers. I think that there will be a dual motor Cybertruck that's available, and I think that will be in the $68,000 base price, which of course will immediately become $70,000 when you get taxes and fees and titling and delivery costs. And if you add the solar tonneau cover and the EMP hardening, hint, hint, Elon, I want EMP ruggedization available, and whatever other options are available, it'll immediately go over 70. And I think that would be the dual motor, which will be the base version of the Cybertruck. I don't think they're releasing the single motor. The quad motor, my opinion, I landed on $108,000. After I actually did the math, I landed on a likely price tag of $108,000 starting price for the quad motor.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about that. You wrote it on a whiteboard for me, breaking it down before you made the video.
Yeah, well, we had
to
to break out the math, man. Because you can say what you want. No, it's going to be expensive. Okay, but if you break out the math and actually do the numbers, it's a little bit more sobering. It feels like, wow, okay, this is based on mathematics, which makes it a little bit tougher to argue with. But none of us really know what'll happen.
No.
We can hope. I hope they still release a single motor. I hope it's still $39,900. As long as we're dreaming, I'd like a pony.
Tesla pony.
Do you think they will be regulated on EMP protection? It may be allowed. I hope that EMP protection, some type of ruggedization, and you know what? He's not said anything about this. There's been no discussion of it. There's not even been a rumor, except for the one I'm trying desperately to get started.
Well, it's supposed to be an apocalypse vehicle.
That's exactly it. He was on Jay Leno's garage, and Jay Leno asked him, why is it bulletproof? And he said, well, I sell you a truck. Do you want it to be bulletproof, or do you want it to not be bulletproof? Pick. And Jay Leno said, okay, I want it to be bulletproof. And Elon said to Jay, we want it to be the leader in apocalypse technology. You've got bioweapon defense mode. If you can drive through a cloud of CBR, chemical, biological, and radiological, fallout, and your pickup truck can protect you from that. It protects you from bullets. It protects you from bricks being thrown through the window. You know what? But it can be rendered useless because the sun had a burp that day. That's problematic for me. So he hasn't said there's going to be EMP ruggedization or EMP hardening. I'm saying I want it, and I would pay extra for it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know about the regulations involved in that. I know that to discharge a localized EMP to render something useless, only in the United States, only federal law enforcement agencies are allowed to have that. It is illegal for any other municipal law enforcement, state law enforcement, or individuals to own. But we're not talking about, offensive EMP weapons, which would be really awesome to have on a Cybertruck. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, they have them for drones, take down drones.
Yes, but you have to be
EMP
federal
gun.
law enforcement to get them.
Yeah, I guess. I've seen them on the market. Anyway.
So we're not talking about the dark web, King. Keep it to yourself.
But a class for that.
We're talking about some EMP hardening to prevent, a solar flare, coronal mass ejection, as you like to call them, or any other type of EMP weapon from affecting the Cybertruck. If we're truly talking about the leader in apocalypse technology, that could be an apocalyptic scenario right there. I can't see Cybertruck being below $40,000. Neither can I. I really can't. For a vehicle of its class, a single motor may be subpar. I agree completely. We didn't see the $35,000 Model 3 for long. No, we did not. And even then, like it was off menu almost immediately. You had to order the Standard Range Plus and then call and then say, you know what, go ahead and downgrade mine to the $35,000, which wasn't even $35,000. It you add in taxes, fees, everything else, and it leaps over $40,000 anyway. But at least they delivered some of the $35,000 one, as opposed to the Model Y, that rear-wheel drive Model Y that they took reservations for and then just never delivered, which I think is more likely to be the scenario for the Cybertruck. People have reservations for the single-motor Cybertruck. People have reservations for the tri-motor Cybertruck. I just don't see those getting delivered. I don't. I see people being notified. You can either upgrade to the quad, downgrade to the dual, upgrade to the dual from the single. And at that point, as you're modifying your order, I would imagine that your full self-driving price that you locked in at $6,000 or $7,000 is not going to be honored. They did not honor them for people who had to change their order for the rear-wheel drive Model Y. So I just don't think that's going to be the case. But you know what? In the end, full self-driving, it's a theory right now. It's not the end of the world as far as I'm concerned. So. Do you have an update on the IDRA press right there?
That's what I was reading. It's just the same old that somebody's pulled up the ship manifests.
Throw up that picture of it for them to see. So I mean that thing
that's just
is
one piece of it, dude.
And it's humongous.
Yeah.
So if you see a lineup of those outside of Giga Austin, because we got those cats. I forget his name. There's 2 or 3 guys that fly their drones every day. Like they got special permission. Elon supports them. Yeah, go and fly your drone, show the progress. And they have not reported at that being delivered. And look at the size of that thing. You can't miss that.
That's just one.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like 7 boxes.
Does it say? The number 9 is ringing in my head, but I don't know why.
9,000-ton GigaPress.
That might be what it is.
Details 25th. Pickup slated for beginning 2023. Fingers crossed for that. Everybody knows about that. Everybody's like, yeah, fingers crossed. That claim that GigaPress had been delivered to Tesla's Austin factory at the time. They shared a video of final assembly and testing at the GigaPress, leading to some outlets speculate, including inside EV.
Some people are speculating it's already been shipped. If everything goes according to plan, that could happen mid-November. Okay. So
well, I can't believe it's November already.
It is. It's November 1st already, yeah. Don't blink. The year ends. What if the Cybertruck comes out and it starts at $90,000? Will you still get yours? I am not saying that will happen, but what will you do if that happens? I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home to the pretty lady in charge, and I'm going to beg like I have never begged before.
Sell a kidney. Sell a kidney.
I'll sell the king.
Nah.
Well, I can't sell one of your kidneys. I mean,
I only got one.
But
I'll drink to that one kidney.
You know what, brother? If it starts at 90,000, it is unlikely that I would be able to take delivery at that price point. 68,000, 70,000, I could see selling the Model 3 and parlaying it into the Cybertruck at that price point. So I've basically resigned myself to the idea that if I'm right and the dual motor is at 70,000, then I will take delivery of the dual motor at 70,000. I will reserve judgment on whether or not I'll take delivery of a $90,000
it
one.
really comes down to you. Like and subscribe. It helps out.
You know what? Feel free to share all our videos and encourage people to subscribe. The more subscribers and views we get, the more likely it is that our channel will be able to take delivery of a Cybertruck.
I'm getting an X.
And any of you billionaires out there are welcome to donate $90K to the channel. I give you my word, if we get a single donation of $90K, we will earmark it immediately for the Cybertruck.
Just go ahead and pay for it.
That's my word. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, and go ahead and give me 150 for
Will you stop begging for a Model X? Just I'm going to put him on a freeway off-ramp selling roses and cups of coffee.
Oh, me? But not you?
I got my Tesla. I don't know what
just
you're
the king, man. You the Barbarian, baby.
I'll dance with a sign behind you saying, raising money for a Model X. Let's see here. Model 3 starts above $60,000 in Australia. The cars are most affordable in the U.S. still. Well, I mean, the U.S. is the home of the mother church.
Yeah.
And I know Giga Shanghai is a very efficient facility, but still it has to, be shipped to Australia. And I would like to see them build a Gigafactory in Australia. It is its own continent after all. I would like to see that, but at the same time, they have logistical ideas that they have to take into account. The number of residents of the continent, the number of prospective vehicle owners. I mean, you know what? I could see the Cybertruck being a pretty big deal out there. There's a lot of active farmland in Australia. I could see the Cybertruck being a pretty big deal.
If anywhere a truck is needed, I think the Outback or of Australia.
So the rocket surgeon is saying, remember, these trucks will sell for $50,000 over MSRP used. You could always take delivery, make some videos, and then sell it for profit. Not ideal, but better than nothing. All right. A genius idea. Not one that I will do, though, because we know for a fact that Tesla is monitoring that. If you are observed by Tesla to take delivery of vehicles and then immediately resell them at low mileage, if you do that a couple of times, they will ban you from purchasing Teslas in the future. This is fact, not fiction. This has happened to people who essentially scalp Teslas.
Oh.
They buy a bunch of them at once, and then when they take delivery of them, they flip them for a profit. They sell them to Carvana. They sell them.
Just like people do with PlayStations around
just
Christmas time.
Just like people do with PlayStations. I myself bought an Xbox Series X at a significant markup. Don't tell anybody. And so, what?
I just got me a
They're
Xbox.
not going to tell anybody.
I just got an Xbox One. A loaner. I could use that X. It'd been sweet. Don't worry about it, though, buddy.
Oh, look at me. I'm the king. I want this X. I want that
I have a
X.
gaming channel. I got to keep up appearances. Appearances.
You're just letting everybody know that we live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. And in the end, when I sell my Model 3, if the Model 3 long range still hasn't come back to the design studio, it's highly likely that I still will be able to sell the Model 3 at a reasonable profit.
Yeah.
But it's not my intention to do that, and I certainly wouldn't want to give the impression to Tesla that I'm doing it on purpose. Kind of like somebody suggested to me to download the acceleration boost and then return it within 48 hours.
Yeah.
Download it, go nuts, make some videos, and then return it. Also,
once you got it, you'd be like, oh, just that.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Also a phenomenal idea, but that means two things. Number one, that I have to have $2,000 all set up somewhere that nobody's going to mind me using, not even on a toy, just on a toy upgrade. But Mom, I want to get the downloadable content. I need the DLC pack. And then once I get it, I know myself well enough to know I'm not willing to give it back.
I'll just skip lunch and dinner for a month.
Yeah, a month. How much money do you think I spend on lunch? I'll skip kidney dialysis this year. We don't need that. That's optional. Yeah, you can definitely get banned by them. Risky, but $50,000 profit could go a long way. They can't stop you from buying a used Tesla. You know what? He's leaning on me. This guy is going to convince me to flip a Cybertruck and download acceleration boost on a Model 3. He just makes so much sense over and over again.
I don't know, man.
Let's see
I
here.
don't know. You are a barbarian.
Lots of country area in Australia, lots of bush and gravel roads. You start to venture outside the main cities, huge amount of farms and farmland, a lot of solar uptake too. So you're with me then that a Cybertruck with the solar tonneau cover would be, I mean, that's a pièce de résistance out there. I mean, you could really, you could utilize that. There's open area where you get direct sunlight. There's active farmland. You've got, I think the Cybertruck would be phenomenal in Australia. Come on. I'm not going to do an Australian accent, I promise.
I will. Okay.
I'm just saying that.
Good day.
That if you were going to, in the outback.
I want to go to Australia so bad. That's one of the countries I want to check out. Unfortunately, everything in Australia can kill you. There's a little mouse. It probably has like spikes and poison. Yeah, but, spiders are just like this big. Snakes will kill you.
You know, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, the comedian, he talked about going to Australia, and he made the same kind of a joke. He's like, everything there can kill you, everything. But you know what? They can kill you emotionally, too, because people in Australia don't care about your feelings. Somebody saw me on the ocean. I'm so fat. They were like, hey, help me get him back in the water, hey? Oh, look at him. He's crying. I bet his tears taste like gravy.
Yeah. We used to be like that here.
That's
a whole other subject.
Everyone's fragile here now. Everyone's fragile, and that's okay. All right. So let's bring this one in for a soft landing. I wanted to definitely touch base on the Cybertruck production updates. It was important to me that we'd gotten something concrete and that we could relate it to what was said on the earnings call, what was confirmed by Tesla, and some of the evidence that we can compare it to the Model Y deliveries that have been going on since in the Model Y ramp. Big spiders aren't the ones to worry about. The small ones are usually the deadliest. I heard the very same thing said about scorpions, and I'm not willing to test either theory, if that's okay with you guys. I don't.
We got
big scorpion, small scorpion. I don't want them dancing on me.
We got eagles and beavers and bears here.
Eagles and beavers and bears.
They're dangerous. That beaver boy, he'll get you. If you got a wooden leg.
Cybertruck would be good for kangaroos. Often hear people put stainless steel bars on the front of their trucks because kangaroos jump onto the roads with moving cars and get hit.
That's a whole different world, bro.
Yeah, well, you just said it, man. Australia's a different world.
We got to look out for deer here. But if you hit a deer in a Cybertruck, it's going to cut the thing in half.
What, the deer? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stainless steel, like polygon, hard-edged.
At the same time, Florida, you see like Twitch streamers doing their little talk on live streaming on Twitch in Florida, and then all of a sudden scream because an alligator walks up behind them. Like alligators on the constant in Florida. So often a kangaroo can destroy a car with one hit. Man, you see those videos of guys that get attacked by kangaroos?
You've seen them. You ever seen a kangaroo do the Barbarian flex?
They do. They puff up.
They're jacked, boy.
I love it. I love it. The kangaroos on
That's why deer are here. You hit a deer and they just look at you and make stupid sound like and walk off in the woods. And
it is weird that deer make a
Louis
sound.
CK
You would
joke.
Think that they would neigh or whatever, but they don't. They make that hot.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Cybertruck would be awesome.
The Cybertruck is going to be awesome. I don't know if it'll be able to take a kangaroo. It'll definitely be able to take a deer, and it'll make short work of alligators. I'm certain of it. We think the dual motor will start at 70. We think the quad motor will start at 108, and I think that there will be a Cybertruck delivery event. Realistically, I think May, June timeframe, but based on the information from the article, it's not impossible to think the possibility that some concrete progress will be visibly seen in April of next year. Maybe those test mules will be prevalent, just like the Model Ys were a couple of months before they started deliveries.
Man, you can't hide that thing.
No, you can't. There'd be a Model Y at a supercharger. They throw a tarp over it. You can't do that with a Cybertruck. Hey, look, there's a Cybertruck with a tarp over it. That's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
So, but man, we really appreciate all you guys being here. Feel free to keep commenting and asking questions. We get back to you. It is me answering the comments in the comment section. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Tesla Barbarian. If you guys have any ideas, any suggestions, let us know. We will try to make them happen. So on behalf of the King, any final words?
Like, share, subscribe, heart.
And if you feel like donating $90,000 for a Cybertruck, feel free.
If just 90,000 people would give $1 each. God almighty.
If we had 90,000 people in this chat, I wouldn't want a thing except for to say thank you for being here. We've got 31 people in the chat, and thank every single one of you for being here.
Got a bunch of people lined up for test rides and drives here soon. We just got to get schedules worked out. We're going to do some more supercharger chats.
Yep.
And we got to finish filming the FSD video.
And we got a couple of special events lined up in November. November is going to be a big one. We got big stuff coming to the channel. It's going to be a good time.
All right, that's it. We're going to land it.
Thank you guys for being here. Next Tuesday at noon, another Tesla Barbarian Tesla News Roundup, and we'll see you guys in the next battle.